Carbide 3D, we love when you get wins with your machine, and those victories start in the computer. We're about to level up your CAD game right now. First up, let's talk about layers. If you're not utilizing layers in your current designs, you ought to be. The hotkey is L and it pops up the layers panel. You'll notice so many colors throughout my design here. That's because you can assign a color to any layer and you get to pick the colors. You can organize your file however you'd like, bright colors, dull colors. You also, in the newest versions of Create, you can disappear those layers and reappear those layers with a click of a button. You can also lock them and unlock them. There are also a whole bunch of useful controls out here in the little 3-dot menu. You can activate the layer, that is, make anything new go on that current layer. You can also double click to make that layer the active layer. You know it's active because it has the bold print in the name of the layer. Be sure and name your layers, by the way, something that you can understand when you come back to utilize this file sometime later. Inside of that panel, you'll also find Select All on Layer. This is incredibly handy when you have an intricate design that has overlapping parts. You can select everything on that layer and then you can click away the layers panel and everything is still selected. Additionally, if you'd like to select all of the art on multiple layers, you can do that with Select All on Layer several times, click out of the layers menu, and all of that art remains selected. L key to get in, escape to get out of the layers panel, and remember also you can machine by layer. You can tell a particular toolpath to machine anything on that layer, and this allows you to make any changes you want to the items that are on that layer, and the toolpath will automatically update. Utilize the layers panel in design, utilize layers in your machining. Layers are going to make your designs better. Next up is creating a symmetrical design. I've imported a background image here, and this is a tool you should be utilizing in Create. Import a background image and begin your designs from that. I love the shape of this board, and I'm going to utilize the polyline tool to place nodes down 1/2 of this board shape. With those nodes placed, I'm going to go about smoothing out this outline into the exact shape that I want. Hotkey N to bring up the node editor. Inside the node editor, you can utilize the smooth and unsmooth commands as well as the delete to manipulate the nodes. When you have an individual node selected, you can also grab the splines to change the shape of that portion of your vector outline. Here, I'm happy with the outline shape I've created. I'm going to utilize copy and paste, Command C and Command V to produce a second version of this vector line. Then with the mirror tool, I can flip that line horizontally and align it node on node at the bottom edge. Use of the alignment tools here may also help you line up your duplicate parts. With the vectors aligned, it's time to bring in the trim tool. Highlighting both vectors and clicking on the trim tool, I'm going to go to the top and eliminate those 2 extra overlapped parts. With nothing left to trim, the heal command is next. By simply pressing heal, my lines now turn black and I know I have a closed vector. This shape is now 100% symmetrical. Finally, I'm going to grab the resize tool and I'm going to shrink the vertical dimension. Create will proportionally size my vector, and there we go. Creating a symmetrical design is as simple as trace, copy, paste, align, trim, and heal. Tip number 3, create your own checkpoints. Utilize an extra layer just to keep a bunch of art on it so that if you change your design midway through your project, you don't have to go back to the absolute beginning in order to make some alterations. Here I have 4 basic coasters that I've designed. They have a variety of designs inside of them. In order to create these, I've utilized a bunch of art, some of it from previous projects, some of it I've drawn in this particular file. But you can see I've left pieces over here, larger, smaller, different ideas, parts I didn't use, so that I can come back later and go from that point if I've made alterations to this version that's in here. And furthermore, I've left even larger versions out here of my original trace and the original art. Now I do take my own advice and utilize the layers panel. I've put all this on the extra art layer. That way I don't accidentally select it or machine it with my machine by layer toolpaths. Organization will pay dividends down the road. Make your own checkpoints just like a video game. You don't want to go back to the start of the level. You want to go back to the last checkpoint you were at so you can eventually beat the big boss and produce something you're proud of. Our next topic is about node editing and replacement. When you're tracing things, you're definitely going to have to go in and node edit. If you're tracing a logo, 100% you're going to have to tweak some of these spots. Again, smooth, unsmooth, delete. Go ahead and move these nodes around. Turn off your snap to grid. Make sure that you can manipulate these nodes however you'd like and drag them to the exact point you want. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, and you're not getting the results you want, particularly when it comes to exact shapes. This O, for instance, I don't think this is salvageable. I don't think I can make a perfect shape here that I'm going to be happy with. No matter what I do to these nodes, it's not going to look right. So here's where you start with replacement. Jump out of the node editor and head into your vector tools. I'm going to drag a circle and start by aligning the outside of the O. Now, you can shape this with the resize tool. You can pull the sides and the edges to create this oval shape that's going to be so microscopically close to the original, no one's ever going to know. You can continue to tweak it with the splines to get it dialed in. Then grab the old vector outline and delete it. Next up is that center. I'm going to drag a circle first, then I'm going to go ahead and utilize the resize tool to tweak it to exactly the dimensions I'm looking for. If this was somewhat of an odd shape, you might utilize the symmetrical design tip that we talked about earlier. There, I've got those two shapes dialed in. I'm going to go ahead and align them to each other, and now I have a perfect O. Much better. Sometimes you can node edit, sometimes replacement is the answer. Finally, I'm going to give you a selection tool and some hotkeys to utilize when you have tightly packed items. Here I have a nested version of a bunch of different backgammon pieces. And if I zoom in here, I have a couple different layer parts, and I have some pieces that are not selectable by themselves. So let's take a look at our chamfer layer here, this blue layer. This is kind of where we're going to tie everything together. If I hit the L key, I can pull up my top level chamfers. I'm going to use select all on layer, hit escape to get out of there. Now, if I want to group those, I could go over here and press the button, or I could simply use hotkey G. And now I've created a group from those selected vectors. Same thing here with these middle outlines that I've created. I already have a group. What if I wanted them ungrouped? I could simply hit U, and that would ungroup all the selected items. Hitting G regroups them, and you can see each time this little indication changes here. Ungroup, group, and you can manipulate them. Now let me share with you a selection tool that I think will really benefit you when things are tightly packed. If I want to select different portions of this wheel, but not other portions, something I can do is I can encapsulate all of one portion of the design. So if I drag down here and I open down, I can get just the portions that are mostly or entirely within the box. It doesn't grab every single thing that I touched when I drag downward. And I can select a number of different items. Now, if I were to drag up over that same framework, from here up, I get everything that I've touched. And there are different circumstances where this is useful or not useful to grab the portion that you're looking for. Here, if I drag up, I'll select anything that I've touched and any group that I've touched. That's why I'm getting all of these different sections. This is particularly handy when trying to create groups of things. If I zoom in on the center of this wheel, I can drag over the top and down, and I will get only those inner portions that I went all the way around. I didn't get any of the outer outlines. And now if I deselect my group on the outside, I all of a sudden have just those inner portions that I would like to group. I can hit G. I've now created a group of all those inner chamfered parts. If you'd like to see a complete list of the shortcuts available in Carbide Create, this link is in the video description. Each one of these tips can be used alone or in combination to benefit you as your designs get more complex. Now it's time for you to put those skills to work, and we'll be back here in the studio with more information, ideas, and inspiration.